We are at the Carrell Speedway for the 13th race of Season 3 of the SCRL Grand National Series. The number 22 of Chris Kyle, leading us to the green flag. Starting beside him is the 69 of Check a Duskwatcher. We're starting lineup here for today's race. Austin Abilene, who will be starting 6th, has a 48-point lead over Sergeant Young. Young is starting 16th. Of course, the Carrell Speedway has not been made for NR 2003, so we are using the Savannah Speedway once again for a replacement for this track. We have only ran one time here at the Carrell Speedway here in Grand National Series. That was earlier in the season, where Check a Duskwatcher, who is starting 2nd, won that event. Where does she start in that race? 2nd place. In the last round at Dayton Speedway, Austin Line, who has started in the 4th position, scored his first career win, holding off Jeff Stott. In that race, Sergeant Young was involved in a lap 2 crash that started when he went wide off turn number 4 and got wrecked by Chris Kyle. Sergeant Young, he was minus 18 going into Dayton. He left minus 48. The good thing for Sergeant Young is there's a lot of races to go still in this season. So a lot more chances to try and gain points. And now, for those most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engines.
The field is rolling off as we begin our lone pace lap. Doesn't look like anybody's having any problems. Chris Kyle, his first pole of the season. He wants to translate that into his first ever win here in the Grand National Series. Pace car has pulled in, pulled the belts tight one more time. We are racing 20 laps here at the Carrell Speedway. Chris Kyle leads us to green. Off towards turn number 1. Still side by side for the race lead. Duskwatcher getting run on the high side. Looks like she will clear. We saw this in the first event. The high line is the way to go as Chris Kyle will lose 1st and 2nd place off the final turn. Check a Duskwatcher will lead lap number 1. You see Chris Kyle being pushed by Austin Abilene. He's going to make it 3 wide off turn number 2. Austin Abilene still trying to get around Chris Kyle. Chris took it on the inside line, drove in the grass just a little bit. Kyle maintains 4th for right now. Still 3 wide. As Kyle gets a run down the backstretch, but Austin Abilene gets a run going off into turn number 3 and turn number 4. Kyle has to go way wide. Kyle's actually going to lose a spot to the 8 car. Chris took it, but Kyle's fighting back on the outside line. Battle for position. Here comes Austin Line, as well as the 78 car of Addie Jade. Austin Line, he is trying to become the first driver to win back-to-back races. It has never been done. It's been 3 years. No one has won 2 races in a row in this series. Austin, in his 12th career start, got his first win. He's going to try and win back-to-back, but he's got Addie J right behind him. You see Chris Kyle has rebounded. He is back up to 4th. I know he's disappointed he never got to lead a lap. Austin Line, here we go. We saw Duskwatcher block the 4. That's what you got to do in this race. You got to try and block the high line. As here comes the 78 on the inside line. There's Chris Kyle trying to fight back. You see Austin Abilene currently running in the 6th position. Sergeant Young, once again, is trailing the field. So this will be 2 races in a row as they're running right now. That Sergeant Young will be finishing last. You see, Addie Jade had to give up the fight a little bit against Austin Line. 12 laps to go. Austin Line is once again closing on the 69. 69 goes up in blocks. That 4 car seems to be faster than the 69, and he actually is. Chris Kyle is actually the fastest right now. See Andrew James trying to go past the 51 car, and does. So Austin Abilene will lose a spot, but he's going to fight back on the outside line. We'll officially be halfway this time by. 10 laps down will be 10 laps to go and halfway. Can Duskwatcher hang on for her second win of the season, as well as sweeping the Carrell Speedway? She's got Austin Line, who is determined to get around her. And you got Addie Jade, who is still trying for her first win. You got Chris Kyle, who wants his lead back. You're going to try to pass Addie Jade on the inside line, not usually the way to go. Kyle, who has stepped it up over the last few races, he takes over third place. But can he maintain it off turn number 2? Addie Jade fighting back on the outside line. Kyle fighting determined on the inside line. Kyle will beat her to the line, so Kyle is third right now. And Kyle slide up in front of the 78. Looks like he's going to try. And looks like he will off turn number 4, so Chris Kyle maintains third. Austin Line has lost 2 car lengths to Duskwatcher, but he has 6 laps to try and gain it back. See, Addie J is trying to fight back on Chris Kyle again on the outside line. I'm pretty sure he's annoyed at her trying to do that again. Because Kyle could probably be possibly battle for the lead up there. But he is being held back by the 78. And you see Austin Abilene, has reclaimed 6th place after passing the 92 car. You got 5 laps to go for Chaka Duskwatcher. Mentioned before, she came into this series having never won a race. And in just her 4th career start, she won the first event at Carrell Speedway. And here in race number 13, she's going to try and win once again at Carrell Speedway by starting in the 2nd position. She had to defend against Austin Line in the early laps, but she has pulled away to a 9/10 of a second lead with 3 laps to go. Looks like Chris Kyle did in fact lose that battle to Addie Jade, as he might actually lose 4th to the 8 car Chris Tucker. As we got 2 laps to go. Lead is now down to half a second. Duskwatcher trying to play defense. Austin Line trying to get around and become the first driver to win back-to-back races here in the Grand National Series. Off the final turn. White flag, 1 lap to go for Chaka Duskwatcher. Sometimes you come into a series with no momentum. Once the season begins, you just continue to make a name for yourself. Duskwatcher off the final turn or score career win number 2. Duskwatcher sweeps Carrell Speedway and wins for the 2nd time in her career. Here are your race results. Chaka Duskwatcher scores her 2nd win of the season. 2nd was Austin Line. 3rd, Addie Jade. 4th, Chris Tuckett. 5th, Chris Kyle. 6th, Austin Abilene. 7th, Andrew James. 8th, Cole Ash. 9th, Bronson Minnick. And 10th was Brent James. We had all 22 drivers finish race on the lap. No one was out. That is it here for the 13th race of the season at Carrell Speedway. We'll take you to Victor Lane for the 2nd time this season with a number 69 car of Chaka Duskwatcher. Here are your point standings after the 13th race of the season at Carrell Speedway. Austin Abilene's lead has expanded. It was 48. It is now 473 over Sergeant Young. Third is Josh Barker, 130 points behind. Fourth, Chaka Diskwatcher with the win, gained 7 spots. She is now in fourth, 196 points behind. And fifth is Jeremiah Weaver, 198 points behind. Rest of the point standings on the screen. We'll next see you for round number 18 at the Grand Rapids Speedrome. And until then, keep the hammer down, and we'll see you at the